Angry guy here, and women are ending up homeless and alone on the streets as men abandon them. Women are ending up homeless and alone on the streets as men abandon them. Guys, please help me get to 100,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button, hitting the like button, and turning on notifications to never miss another video again. So let's begin. We have an incredible video for you guys, so let's just jump right into it.
All right, so what's your name?
Melina,
Melina, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Cali. I'm from San Diego.
You from SD?
Yeah.
And what brings you all the way out here?
Well, when I moved over here originally, it was to be with my baby dad's family, like, because his mom helps us watch my kids and stuff. Well, helped us watch my kids. So it was, like, easier for me to work and shit.
So you don't have any family out here? It was just your baby's daddy?
Yeah. Yeah, basically just him and his family. But right now they like all like turned against me, so yeah, I basically don't have anybody out here.
Where's your family? Are they back in San Diego?
I have family in San Diego, Las Vegas. That's where I was living for the last like 6 years. But I just moved out here about 5-6 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I have family scattered around everywhere.
How long ago did you end up homeless?
It's been like 3 months now. I'm new to it.
Okay. And what are you doing out here to survive?
Well, I like basically boost and I sell like.
So you hustle.
Yeah, there you go.
Is it dangerous out here for a girl being homeless?
Yeah, it is pretty dangerous. I don't really like to be like by myself like that. Like right now you call me by myself, but I'm usually not by myself. I usually have like a homie with me or something. It is pretty dangerous. I'm pretty much scared every night, but I like try to keep a guy that I trust with me, you know?
Yeah. Why don't you have a homie around you right now?
Actually, me and the homie were supposed to meet up here since last night, and he just like got lost. He disappeared.
He was a no-show, huh?
Yeah, so I just waited right there because he has my so I'm like,
okay.
I need them.
And what about in San Diego? How was your life over there?
I was only there as a kid, so I don't really remember much.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I grew up basically in Vegas for the last like 6 years, and then before that I lived here for a year, but I was like all good then.
How was your life in Las Vegas?
It was cool. I was like pretty popular and stuff. I had a lot of friends, but I did start using out there, and then I came over here.
Does your family know what you're going through right now?
No, my family doesn't.
They don't know?
No.
How come you don't let them know?
Because I'm like ashamed.
First of all, like, who do you have? Do you have your mom, your dad, siblings?
No, I don't really have anybody right now. I just have like friends, you know? But then again, they're not really friends because they always end up doing you dirty out here, but just acquaintances, I guess. And like my family, I would love to get in touch with them, but I'm just kind of like ashamed of where I'm at, you know?
But there's nothing to be ashamed of, you know? Like, we all go through bad times in our life. Not everybody's perfect, so, you know, they should be able to understand that. Yeah. But then again, I'm nobody to tell you, like, you know, I don't know your personal relationship with your family, but if I were in your shoes, I would try to at least get in contact with them.
You see, guys, one thing that you have to understand is that these women, they live life on easy mode. There is a reason why her friends or her baby daddy's family doesn't want to have anything to do with her. Very likely it's because of what the type of person that she is. Notice she says that she boosts. What is boosting on the streets? It's a slang for shoplifting or stealing to feed a specific habit related to substance use. So she's a thief. She literally just said that. She said that she's using. So think about it logically. She has basically put herself in a situation where she is on the streets by choice. Notice she's not turning to her family. Why? Because she knows that the type of behavior that she's exhibiting would not be tolerated. She's chosen the streets. Her family would probably put her in a center to get her cleaned up. She doesn't want to be clean. She doesn't want to break that habit. She wants to keep on living this life. I've talked to you guys about homeless men versus homeless women. And I've said that when you look at a lot of homeless men, they are often not dirty. Some are. And usually those are the ones that are on some type of substance. But when you look at homeless men that are not on some type of substance, they're not using a substance, those men are homeless by choice and it's a lifestyle for them. You'll often notice that they are not dirty. Even if their clothes are old, they are not dirty. They are well groomed, they take good care of themselves, they are well fed, they are living well, sleeping well, eating well. Many of these guys don't even spend all of their time sleeping on the street. They may say that they're homeless, but they often rotate in and out of shelters. So they don't have a permanent house, permanent housing, but they often have a place to stay regardless. This is the true reality of it. Homelessness is a lifestyle for them. Guys, do you think this stuff is easy? Going to a 9 to 5 job, having to actually build a skill set, having to pay bills on time, having to budget. This stuff is hard. It's hard. We are conditioned from the time that we are little kids to do these things, to properly take care of ourselves, to groom ourselves, to prepare our clothing for school so that we look presentable. When I was growing up, I went to public school for a part of my life, then I went to private school, then I went back to public school. And I'm going to tell you one of the important themes of this: wearing a uniform. For a lot of my existence as a student, and this is something that still exists in the UK, although it's increasingly been taken out of Western society, it is wearing a school uniform. And the reason why you do that is because you're being conditioned to learn how to dress appropriately as an adult when you enter into the workforce. These people usually don't want to adhere to any form of standards whatsoever. They remind me a lot of Gen Z. These people live on the streets. They receive tons of support on the streets, way more support on the streets than they would if they were actually working. When you actually do the math and you figure out how much money these people are technically receiving on the streets, when you consider the food, the clothing, the free haircuts, the everything else that goes into it, you start to see a picture, an image begins to emerge. Because if there are people going around and handing these people food all day long, because I've been homeless, I've experienced homelessness 10 years ago. When you quantify that and you adjust it for inflation, based on today's standards, a lot of these people are receiving anywhere from 50 to 30, 15 to 30, or in some cases even $50 or more in food per day. When you consider that this is food that's being prepared for them and handed to them, that number even increases. Like, how much does it cost for me to order this off Uber? How much would it cost for me to have this sandwich made for me and then add delivery into it? We're talking about 60, 70, even $80 worth of value adjusted for inflation in today's market. If these people are being brought food, handed food every single day, when you consider that, how we live as people, if they were to purchase this themselves on a daily basis, we're talking about easily 30, 40, $50. If you consider the fact that this is being brought to them and the labor involved in that, which they don't take into consideration, we're talking about anywhere from $60 to $80. If you average the amount of value that these people are receiving on a daily basis, living on the streets just in food, that's, if you were to call it, let's say $50 a day, that's $1,500 a month. That works out to $18,000 a year. Y'all seeing the math? $18,000 a year, almost $20,000 a year in just people bringing them food. That's pretty ridiculous. And then tag on the fact that these people are typically receiving food stamps, and that's usually somewhere around, let's say, food stamps are like what, around $280 a month right now, something like that, depending on where you live. Let's call it 280, right? So $280 multiplied by 12 is going to give us $3,360. Okay? And then add that on to the $18,000 in free food and everything that they're getting on the streets. That works out to $21,360 in free food that they're receiving. Guys, look at this. This is their food budget. This is their food budget for the year. Their food budget is $21,360. Do you guys see what I'm talking about right now? That's just food for these people. Now let's do some more consideration, because what is the typical insurance? What does insurance cost a typical person per month, right? So let's Google it. What is the typical amount that a person pays for insurance in the United States per month? All right. So on average, a single person pays about $117 a month for employer-sponsored coverage and $477 a month for a plan on the health insurance market. $477 a month if they don't have a job, okay? And $117 if they're employed. So these people are not working. They don't have a job. So we're gonna use that 4,000. We're gonna use that 4,000 number, y'all. I'm not messing around. I'm not messing around with y'all. I'm not playing games with y'all. Okay? Not playing games with y'all anymore. Because I want y'all to do this. So they're getting $21,000 in food. $21,000 a year in food. With a little more than that, but we'll average it. We'll call it 21,000. Right? And then on top of that 21,000, $477 a month. All right, that's what you would. All right, you know what? Fine, I'll be fair. I'm going to use the 117 number. Really, I should be using the 477, but I'm going to use the 117. Okay, because some of you are all going to say that's all right. Let's use that. Okay, that would work out to $1,404. But keep in mind, these people that do this actually have to invest. They actually have to go out and work. Okay, so that's a part of their compensation. So it's not really fair for me to use that number when you think about it, because that's a part of your compensation for working those jobs. So that's not right. That's absolutely not right for me to do that. We're going to use the 477 number. All right, so that's $5,724 for 12 months of health insurance. That's what the actual value of that is that they would be receiving. Okay, all right, 477. So that works out to 5,724. Okay, all right. So the numbers are going up. The numbers are going up very quickly. They're going up very, very quickly, very, very fast. Because I want y'all to understand this. I want y'all to see the absolute load of BS that these people are doing. Okay. So that's $21,000 in just food that they're receiving on the streets, $1,404 in food stamps, $5,724 in health insurance that they would receive from Medicaid, because these people qualify for free health care. So that's 5,000. So that's almost $6,000 that they're receiving in free health care. This is crazy. This is crazy, guys. They also qualify for a free cell phone, it's called the ACP, Affordable Care Act, something like that. That gives them $30 a month that they can use to cover the cost of their phone bill. So that works out to $360 for the year. So their food cost is covered. So their phone bill cost is covered. And then, of course, we're not even taking into consideration the things that they receive, like free haircuts, what else? And free clothing, blankets, these things. So I mean, if you were to do, this woman said that it's too much. They receive way too much. Like they'll get like 20 blankets in a day because people will come around and give out just like 20 blankets in a day. So they have way too much support out there. So let's be honestly, it's a little bit more difficult for me to calculate the amount that they're receiving per day. I mean, in terms of free stuff, but let's say, a haircut. Let's say, they're receiving a haircut twice a month. That's about $40. But that would work out to, I mean, in today's economy, that would work out to about $480 a year. So let's put that. So let's go ahead. That's 480. Okay, 480. I mean, it's absolutely insane. It's absolute. It is 100% absolutely insane what these people are out here doing. Okay, I find it completely disgust. I find it disgusting what they're doing out here in the streets. Okay, because they are taking advantage. They are 100% taking advantage of people. I think that what did I so it was like 1,500. Was it 1,500 in food that I said? So that actually worked out to about, was it 18,000? 1,500 by 12. Yeah, so I worked that out to 18,000. Let's adjust to 21,000. Let's put that at 18 because I actually had added something else in there. Foods was no. Let's see. Got to keep track of it. Oh yeah, 21,000 including the food stamps. 21,000 including the food stamps. Yeah. So, yeah, we're looking at we're literally at 21,000 for food, $1,404, 5,724, 360, 480. I mean, when we do this math, this is just basic stuff right here. All right, where we food and some of the free and and healthcare and the other stuff. This is I'm gonna add it up for you guys right now. 5,724 plus 360. And there's so many other things that I did not include in this, plus 480. So right now we're literally at $28,968 in the amount of value that these people are receiving on the streets. And we're not taking into consideration housing because a lot of them do live in shelters. They do spend time in shelters. If they were to go and live, have to pay rent, the average rent is substantial. The average rent, like if you had to rent a motel, if you're going to rent a motel or stay somewhere, it's usually going to be like $60-$70 a night right now. Just to be very, very honest. Like $50 is like dirt cheap in today's economy. 50 is dirt cheap. So let's say they're staying in a shelter on a regular basis, and we're gonna average it at $50 and $30. That works out to about $1,500 per month. And again, we're gonna multiply that by 12. And this is where it gets crazy, guys. And this is gonna give us 18,000. 18,000, guys. Are you kidding me? 18,000. So we're already at 18. We're at $18,000, and we're gonna add that $18,000 to our other figure. Let's go ahead and put that in here, and we will. Give me a moment, guys. Calculator is being a jerk. That's 28,000. Let's call it 29,000 right there. So plus 29,000. We average that. $47,000. So just doing this math, guys, these people are receiving $47,000 in value per year living on the street, and that's not factoring everything. I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA and walking away and shares. $47,000 a year, almost $50,000 a year.